All right, so now we are going to start looking at some of the muscles, and in particular, we're going to look at the trunk muscles. So what I've done is I've used my scalpel to carefully make an incision along the side here of our shark. Normally we would do this down here so that we could see just the hypaxial and epaxial muscles. I did it up here so that we could also see some of the pectoral abductors and adductors, which I'm going to show you now. So if we take this flap of skin and we bring it up, you're going to notice two different types of muscles. All right. I have two cameras going. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it on this camera that's up close a little bit better. But one of the things that you'll notice right off the bat, before you even look at the muscles, is on this external anatomy, you have this line going down the side here of the shark. Down the lateral side of the shark, on both sides, you have what's called the lateral line. It's a canal that sits underneath of the skin. And there are pores that are connecting that canal underneath the skin to the external environment. We're going to talk more about the function of the lateral line when we get into the nervous system and sensory structures. But for now, if we orient ourselves with this lateral line, and we come up here, we'll notice that line continues underneath the skin as well, within the muscle. This is called the horizontal septum. So here you can see my horizontal septum. Above my horizontal septum, these muscles, right here, these are going to be my epaxial muscles. The muscles that are going to be ventral to the horizontal septum are going to be my hypaxial muscles. Here I have my hypaxial muscles, ventral to the horizontal septum. Dorsal to the horizontal septum, I have my epaxial muscles. All right? If I were to take a closer look at my fin here, you'll notice I have these thin muscles running down the fin that are connected to this larger muscle up on the actual body. You can see that this larger muscle is very distinct. There's like a line that separates it from my hypaxial muscles. This larger muscle is my pectoral abductor, abductor, abductor. If I were to contract that muscle, by contracting a muscle, I shorten that muscle. So if I shorten this muscle, what's it going to do to the fin? It's going to pull the fin up. All right, we'll come back to that in just a little bit. Let's look at the ventral side of our shark. Once again, if we move the flap, we're looking at here hypaxial muscle still. We're below, we're ventral to the horizontal septum still. That hypaxial muscle continues onto the ventral side of the shark. This is a good point to show you the difference between myomeres and myoseptum. If you'll notice, on the muscles here, you have these lines that are running between the muscles. You can see them over here as well. In between the lines, you have the muscle itself. Just like we saw with cephalocordata, amphioxus, the muscle itself is referred to as myomeres. The lines in between are the myoseptum. Septum is like a canal. Myoseptum is the space between the muscles. Septum for space. Just like we have a horizontal septum, this was space running between the epaxial muscles and the hypaxial muscles. Myoseptum running between my myomeres. Underneath here, once again, you can see this distinctive muscle right here. This muscle is going to be my pectoral adductor, adductor. If I contract that muscle, it's going to bring the fin into the body. If I contract the abductors, it brings the fin away from the body. Adductors, it brings the fin back towards the body. If you think about this from your own perspective, an abductor is bringing your arms away from you. They're being abducted to outer space. Aliens abduct you. If you were to contract an adductor, adductor, it's adding ADD, it's adding it back to the body. Abductors, adductors. If we look along the ventral side of the shark as well, you can see this line that goes down the very middle of the shark's ventral side. That line is linea alba. Think about that like as if you had a awesome six-pack on your belly. That line that's running all the way down the six-pack. Okay, that's your linea alba. Same here, this is your linea alba, the shark's linea alba. And it's basically separating the two symmetric sides to the shark, this side and this side. If you can see close in there, you'll see that these muscles are running on a diagonal from here down this way. And these are running on a diagonal from here down this way. They're symmetric. Here's my pectoral adductor, ADD. And here's my pectoral abductor, ABD. It's abducting it away from the body. The other one adds it back to the body. Here's my horizontal septum, following along with the lateral line system. Dorsal to that horizontal septum is going to be my epaxial muscles. Ventral to the horizontal septum is going to be my hypaxial muscles. And that does it for all of the muscles dealing with the trunk. Next, we'll move into the head and the branchial muscles. These are going to be a little bit more fine scale, smaller, and so we're going to want to really zoom in on those in just a little bit.